You used to feel things. You used to wait for his name to come up on your phone and feel something rise in your chest. You used to lie awake at night thinking about him, about your future, about whether this was real. Now he reaches for your hand and you let him take it without registering the touch. And the worst part is you cannot tell if you fell out of love or if you have simply gone somewhere your body cannot reach. If you have lived this in the last year, I need you to hear me very carefully. You did not fall out of love. You are not heartless. You have not become a different woman. Most people will tell you this means it is over, that your feelings have left, that you should leave. They are guessing. You have probably wondered if you are broken, if you are cold, if you are the bad one, the one who cannot love properly. You are not cold, you are not broken, you are not failing at love. You are inside the third state of the human nervous system. You are inside the third state of the human nervous system, and it is the one almost no one talks about. If something in what I have just said has already landed somewhere in your chest, do me one small kindness. Subscribe to this channel before you forget. Not for me, for the version of you who is going to need to come back to this video more than once. Because the thing I am about to teach you takes time to land in the body. Now let me show you what your nervous system is actually doing. Most people who have studied the body's stress response learn about two states. There is the activation state, which everybody calls fight or flight, where your sympathetic nervous system floods you with cortisol and adrenaline, heart racing, mind racing, the classic anxiety picture. And then there is the rest state, where your parasympathetic system brings you back down. Calm, connection, digestion, sleep. Two states, up and down, that is what most of us were taught. In 1994, a neuroscientist named Stephen Porges proposed something that fundamentally changed how we understand the nervous system. He called it the Polyvagal theory. The Polyvagal theory says there is not one parasympathetic system. There are two, and they do completely different things. The first parasympathetic branch, called the ventral vagal, is the one that handles connection, social engagement, eye contact, conversation, the warmth in your chest when you sit with someone you love. This is the branch that gives you what we call presence. But there is a second, much older parasympathetic branch. It is called the dorsal vagal. And its job is not connection, its job is shutdown, immobilization, collapse. The dorsal vagal state is what your body activates. When fight has not worked, flight has not worked, the threat is not going away, and the only remaining survival option is to disappear from the inside, to go quiet, to go far away, to stop registering. The body, in essence, plays dead while still walking around in your life. This third state is what you have been inside. In daily life, dorsal collapse does not always look dramatic. It does not always look like sobbing or unable to get out of bed, although it can. More often, in adult women in long-term relationships, it looks like high-functioning numbness. You go to work, you make dinner, you answer his texts, you smile in the photographs, you appear, from the outside, completely fine. But behind your eyes there is a small constant grey weather, and you cannot remember the last time anything tasted of itself. You sleep badly or you sleep too much. You watch a great deal of television and remember none of it. You stop reaching for things you used to reach for. Old hobbies fall quietly away. Old friends stop hearing back from you, and you cannot bring yourself to type the apology. This is not laziness. This is not depression in the diagnostic sense, although it can look like it. This is your dorsal vagal branch, holding you in a kind of low-grade hibernation while the situation around you remains unsolved. If this is starting to make sense to you, I want to tell you about the resource I built for exactly this. It is called the 21-Day Magnetic Reset. It is the system to receive without chasing, and there is an entire phase inside of it for thawing out of dorsal collapse, slowly and without flooding. The link is in the description. I will not keep mentioning it. I just want you to know it is there if you are ready. Let me explain how this happens specifically inside a relationship. Your nervous system has something called neuroception. Neuroception is unconscious threat detection. It runs underneath your conscious mind. It is constantly scanning your environment, your partner's tone of voice, his micro-expressions, the rhythm of his attention, the energy in the room, and it is asking one question: am I safe right now? When neuroception keeps detecting that you are not safe, but you also cannot leave because you love him, because you have built a life, because you have nowhere else to go, because there are children, because there are bills, because some days he is wonderful, your nervous system runs into a kind of impossible math. Fight will hurt him, flight is not available, stay and feel it is unbearable. So your body chooses the fourth option, the one that has existed in mammals for hundreds of millions of years longer than fight or flight. The body chooses to leave without leaving, to shut off the channels of feeling, to preserve you by going quiet. This is not weakness. This is not love disappearing. This is the most ancient form of self-protection your body knows. The kinds of relationships that most reliably trigger this are not always obvious. It is rarely the loud, openly violent kind, although that absolutely can. More often, it is the quietly inconsistent kind. The partner who is wonderful 3 days a week and absent the other 4. The partner who criticises in small ways you cannot quite name. The partner who withdraws affection when you ask for something he does not want to give. The partner who is technically there, but who has not really seen you for months. Your nervous system gets exhausted from running activation against an enemy it cannot point to, and then it stops running. You may have wondered why you cannot just leave, why you cannot just feel angry, why you cannot just have a normal reaction. The answer is that you have spent so long preparing your body for an emergency that never arrives in a shape you can fight, that the body has chosen the only shape of fight it has left, which is to disappear from inside the situation while remaining inside it. Write the third state in the comments if that just rearranged something in you, just so we both know you are still here. There is something else happening at the chemical level that almost nobody talks about. When stress becomes chronic, when your system has been running adrenaline and cortisol for long enough without resolution, your body switches to a different set of chemicals. It releases endogenous opioids, your own internal version of morphine. This is documented in trauma research going back to the 90s. The body, faced with pain it cannot escape, produces its own painkiller. And those endogenous opioids do not just dull physical pain. They dull emotional registration. Joy goes flat, grief goes flat, love goes flat, everything goes flat. You are not numb because you do not love him. You are numb because your body has been quietly medicating you for months in order to keep you functional inside of something it cannot solve. Let that sit for a moment. Now, I want to give you the tools because understanding the mechanism is the beginning, but it will not move you out of the state on its own. What moves you out is what you do with your body. very gently over time. Tool 1. The bottom-up sensory return. You cannot think your way out of dorsal collapse. The mind is one of the things that has gone quiet. You have to come back through the senses, slowly and on purpose. 3 times a day, for 1 minute each, do the following. Hold something cold against the palms of your hands for 30 seconds. A piece of ice, a cold can from the fridge, a river stone you have kept in the freezer, then smell something specific and concentrated, coffee grounds, lavender, lemon peel, any strong familiar smell, then slowly press the soles of your feet into the floor and feel the floor pressing back. Cold, smell, pressure. 3 minutes a day. You are giving your nervous system tiny, tolerable signals that you are here, in this body, in this moment. You're not asking it to feel anything emotional yet. You're only asking it to register that you exist physically. Feeling will return after presence does, not before. Tool 2. The smallest possible movement. Dorsal collapse keeps your body still. The way out is not to force big movement, which the nervous system reads as danger, but to introduce micro movement that is so small your system cannot reject it. Once a day, find a soft piece of music you used to love before all this. Put it on, stand up, and let one finger move with the rhythm. Just one. Then maybe a hand, then maybe an arm. Stop at the moment your body says stop. Do not push. Movement is how warmth comes back into a frozen system, but it has to come back at a rate the body can metabolize. Anything faster will scare it back into shutdown. Anything slower will not register. 1 finger every day for 21 days does more than an hour at the gym ever could in this state. Tool 3, co-regulation through soft eye contact. Your ventral vagal system, the one that holds capacity for connection, switches back on through the eyes of another safe nervous system. You cannot do this with the partner you are inside of, because his nervous system is part of why yours went quiet. So you do it elsewhere, with a dog, with a small child you trust, with an old friend, with your own face in a mirror, looking at yourself the way you would look at someone you love. 60 seconds a day of soft, warm eye contact with anything that is alive and not threatening to you, and your ventral vagus begins to remember what it is for. The dorsal collapse begins to lift around the edges. The system begins to consider feeling again. Write thawing in the comments if you are going to commit to one of these 3 tools for the next 21 days. Public commitment activates a different part of the brain than private intention. Use it. Everything I have just given you is also inside the 21-day magnetic reset in much more detail, with the specific structure for unwinding dorsal collapse over 21 days. The link is in the description if you want the full framework. If you want to work with what is in this video, that is more than enough too. What matters is that you start. Now let me tell you what comes back when you do this work. The first thing you notice, and this is important to know, is that the numbness lifts before you understand whether you still love him. Feeling returns to your body before clarity returns to your mind. You start to register the temperature of a cup of tea. You hear birds in the morning and they sound like something. You watch a bad film and laugh at a small joke and the laugh surprises you. Sensation comes back first. The relationship questions come second. Do not try to make decisions about him until sensation returns. You cannot trust a numb nervous system to know who you love. Once feeling comes back, you will know. You will know either that what you have is real and was simply being protected through a hard year, or that what was once real has gone and your body was telling you the truth all along, just in a language you could not yet decode. The second thing you notice is grief, sometimes a great deal of it. The numbness was holding back not just love, but everything underneath it. Sadness, anger, the years you spent trying, the disappointment of who he turned out to be on his hardest days. All of it comes through the door at once, and it can feel like drowning. It is not drowning. It is your nervous system finally being permitted to digest what it could not digest in real time. Stay with it. Cry if you need to cry. Sleep more than usual. Eat slightly more than you think you need. Cancel things if you can. The grief is the proof that the system is coming back online. The grief is the work. You may also notice anger, a surprising amount of it. Anger you did not have access to while you were frozen. Anger at him, anger at yourself for staying as long as you have. Anger at the quiet years you cannot get back. Let that come too. Anger is not failure. Anger is your sympathetic branch waking up from years underground. Anger means your body believes again that you are worth defending. The third thing you notice, and this is where most of my work for this kind of woman ends, is choice. Real embodied choice. Where before you went through the motions of staying or going on autopilot, now there is a quarter of a second of pause before any decision in which you can actually feel what your body is asking for. That quarter of a second is everything. That quarter of a second is the difference between living and surviving. You will know what to do then, from feeling, not from thinking. I want to say one more thing about that quarter of a second of pause, because most women I have worked with in this state misunderstand what it is supposed to feel like. They expect clarity to arrive as a clean sentence, a tidy conclusion, a mental decision. It does not arrive that way. It arrives as a softening in the chest when you are around him, or a small contraction in your stomach when you hear his key in the door. It arrives as a sigh you did not plan. It arrives as the body telling you something simple before the mind has decided what to do with the information. Your job is not to interpret it. Your job is to listen to it. The body has been the truth teller all along. The mind has been the negotiator. When the body comes back online, the negotiations end. And here is what I want you to sit with the longest. You were never broken. You went into the third state because you were a creature whose body was protecting her from something it perceived as more than she could metabolize without harm. Your shutdown was not failure. Your shutdown was an act of love your body did for you when you could not yet do it for yourself. It kept you alive through a season that asked too much. It put you into something close to hibernation so that the part of you that loves and feels and chooses would not be destroyed by what was unfolding around you. That part of you is still in there. She has not gone anywhere. She has only gone quiet, and quiet is reversible. Your nervous system, the one that has been keeping you wrapped in protective stillness, is hearing a voice right now in this video that is not asking it to feel anything yet. It is being calmly told that there is no rush, that feeling will return when feeling is safe, that the body knows the order of operations and it has not abandoned you. Something is already beginning to soften in you. Something is already beginning to thaw. Feel that. If you have come this far with me, I want two small things. First, subscribe, not for the number, because you will need to hear this more than once. In whatever moment over the next month you find yourself watching yourself feel nothing again. And you should have my voice in your feed when that happens. Second, send this video to one woman you love who you suspect is inside this same state and has no language for it yet. You might give her the most important sentence she has not been able to find for herself this year. If you are ready to do the deeper work in a structured way, the 21-day magnetic reset is linked in the description. 21 days of daily practice, the system to receive without chasing, including the specific protocol for thawing out of dorsal collapse, written for women in exactly the place you are in. You are not someone who fell out of love. You are someone whose body went into the only protective posture it had left and who is now ready to be returned gently to herself. Breathe out slowly one more time before you close this video. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let your hands rest open on your thighs. Something in you heard me today. Something in you was waiting for a long time for someone to name this without panic. Trust that. I will see you on the next one.